process of increasing in size. A feature that is both individual, intrinsic, and throughout nature.
This is going to be so interesting, you know.
This is the moment we have been waiting for.
I'm feeling it now.
What has come before is now consigned to the history books. This new decade brings new challenges, new rivals, falling giants, and new beginnings.
Bang, bang, bang! 3 shots to the heart.
Oh,
It's the back end.
Oh no!
Those who are climbing will meet. Who will fall by the wayside, and who will embody growth.
There's still wheel to wheel!
That is unbelievable.
League of Europe, grow or fade.
Good evening everyone, welcome to the League of Europe. We are here for Division 2, round 11 of the Spa-Francorchamps Grand Prix. I don't know if I have absolutely butchered that name, I'm pretty sure I have, but it's fine. I will be able to know very shortly. My name is Jacob, doing the comms for you guys tonight. Daka unfortunately isn't here once again tonight, so once again I'm filling in for him. Once again, I'm not alone, I am with the one that is usually here every single week. It is Mr. QVR Verstappen.
Hello everyone, and indeed welcome to Division 2 of League of Europe once again. Yeah, I'm here once again, of course, and here to take you through, together with Jacob, for the Belgian GP.
Yeah, man, and as I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing this because there's definitely a few more recognisable names now in the division, and as I said, I am very, very excited to see how this is going to go. Especially, as you can see at the top of your screen, there is a certain someone that has moved back down into Division 2 because he was a little bit scared of a challenge. It is the one that is sitting in the AlphaTauri currently. It is XL Gary. He is back in Division 2. I did say I'm going to absolutely rinse him on the stream, and I'm going to continue to do so. He has been moved down to Division 2. I mean, to be fair, he did get a podium in Division 1, but it's just not been too well for him. I mean, as I said, I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody is going to sort of crack on throughout this race today, because I know Spa is a very unique track in the way that there's pretty much a bit of everything that you can get around here. You know, you've got the long straights, you've got the heavy braking zones, you've got the hairpins, chicanes, everything you can think of are pretty much just slap bang onto this track. And, well, yeah, it's going around here. But, I mean, what do you make of it then as well, Verstappen?
Yeah, it's of course a very unique track, longest on the calendar, and of course very divided part as well, Sector 1, Sector 3 being basically full on straights, with of course a bus stop chicane and lots of stores in between. While Sector 2 is more technical and it requires a lot of downforce, so setup is really a factor here as well, considering you get a kind of balance between the three sectors basically.
Yeah, no, it certainly is as well. And I mean, speaking of all of that as well, we've of course had a few other guys that have done their laps already. As you can see, everybody on the set off the softs to begin with. Slash the one that's already crept into the 40s. So I'm kind of intrigued to see how qualifying is going to be going as well. To my knowledge, from the Division 1, Division 3 and Division 4 race, I think D1 was fully dry. Division 3 had full wets in that race, and the Division 4 was a bit of mix of both. So I know at the moment it's dry in qualifying. I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be wet in the race as well. I haven't had any sort of drivers say anything, but I'm a bit interested. Anyway, who would you like to go on board with to start this off anyway, Verstappen? Because I know we're already 6 minutes into qualifying.
I'm gonna scroll through. Do we have anyone on the laps? I think most of the guys have already set a lap and are not on one. Papa Master seems to be on the beginning of his lap. Has coming up towards Rus and Radion, so I think that's a good one to go on board with.
Yeah, he certainly is, as you said, making his way up Radion and coming on to now the Kemmel Straight. DRS is now wide open for the man in the Haas, the Spaniard, charging down that Kemmel Straight. Is he purple going through Sector 1? Yes, he is, so he could be on for potentially challenging Slash. We'll keep our eye out on the Spaniard as he makes his way rounds turn 6, 7 and up to turn 8, now coming up towards the Brussels hairpin, one of probably the most difficult corners on this calendar. I absolutely hate this, but It always seems to be when people, you can just lock up very easily around there. Still managed to take it very nicely now. And now on round, Puon keeps it in 7th gear, just drops it down to be able to get that rotation that he needs, and took that very, very nicely. Now around what is probably one of the longer chicanes of the calendar, mounting the entry to the second part of the chicane and coming out very nicely from there. Now coming on to the beginning of sector 3, he's done a 13.4, so this is looking to put him around where Ryan and Skyzy are at the moment, and Hardy, all 4 very quickly actually, the same with Dylan. So it's very, very close in that midfield, and it's looking like Puppet Master is going to be joining these guys as he makes his way around Blanchimont and up towards the bus stop chicane, stops it at the 100 metre board, down into 2nd gear, short shifting down to 1st and then back up to 3rd for the exit. Easy to lose it on traction, up to the line, and he goes into P9 just behind Rick. And like I said, it's very, very tight from Maurice all the way down to Spag, literally splitting them by not even 4/10 of a second.
Yeah, and that's quite mad to see, considering it's the longest track from the calendar as well. So, yeah, we've got a tight grid upper hand today, but Slashes seem to kind of be clear of the rest so far. Of course, there's still drivers not to the lap or not to their potential just yet. I think Lando is just about to start one. As he's had a decent season so far. He's shown great pace, but his results may have been a bit disappointing. So he may be hoping for more this time out, as he's coming up towards our Rouge and Radion. Of course, nowadays it's quite easily flat, as you can see. Just about going down to 308 kilometers I saw, and now up the DRS straight onto the Camel Straight, very long on towards Lacombe, which is quite a unique chicane as well. It's a bit off camber as well. He is purple for the first sector there, and he kind of loses on traction in the second part of it. He keeps on going though, the Renault. And now up down towards, which I know as Ravage, but I think it has quite a few names at this point. Yeah. I know the track designers or the organizers likes to change the names here, so that's quite interesting to know. Now down towards Poom, keeping it at 285 kilometers an hour, which is impressive to see. Now down towards Lefanye, and 5th gear for here, 4th just about there to rotate the car a bit more, and now on the exit, easy to invalidate there, so he takes it nicely. And now towards Stafalo, 2nd sector split, 113.4, same we saw do Puppet Master, but he gets into the curb a little too much and loses the car just out of that. Now towards Blanchimont. Of course, again, easy flat. I think we should be seeing speeds around 320 kilometers an hour, which he does quite nicely there. Now towards the final chicane, the bus stop chicane, braking at 100 meters. Leaving the curb a little bit in the apex, so I have to compromise for the second part of it. Now onto the exit. Landa, what can he get? A 141.7, only P13 so far.
Yeah, and I think that was a bit of a scrappy lap for him. I think he knows it was a bit of a scrappy lap as well, so he's going to want to try and improve on that for sure. But even then, still a 41.7, despite obviously what had happened throughout that. That was still a decent lap time for him, so I'm looking forward to seeing where he's probably going to end up come towards the end of qualifying. I can see a load of guys are now on an outlap, or on a lap, shall I say. And I'm just trying to see who's going to be the first one across the line. I believe it is going to be Packer, as in fact he's invalidated his lap, so he's going to be going for a full one. So Rick is going to be the next one to make his way around the final corner and making his way up to the line. They did say he was 2.5 tenths up on his time, and he certainly was. A 41.2 goes the finish, to the finish, shall I say. So... So a 41.2 for Rick slots him up into P2. Very nicely done for Rick, as a few other guys are now making their way up towards the line. Gary is the next one as he goes to the line, a 41.5, and slots into P10. A few other guys are coming up to the line. Dan slots into 3rd, but then Bullet Boy slots up ahead of him into 2nd. So at the moment it's an Alfa Romeo 1-2, as I believe a Williams just came across the line. Rudy puts it into P16, a 42.2. And then we've also got the 2 Red Bulls, Dylan and Nico. Dylan just going up ahead of his teammate, literally just swapping positions. Very close between those two. I'm pretty sure they're the only one in Division 2 to have a 1-2 this season, if I'm not mistaken as well. So a little bit of an interesting stat for you there. But everyone, I think, has also pretty much done their laps. I'm just seeing if Lando Norris is carrying on with a lap it doesn't appear so. So I think he's just going to go into the pits, and we'll see where he goes about on that one. However, the Frenchman of Mr. Skies, he is making his way around the final corner now, and up towards the line goes the Frenchman, a P6, a 41.3. He does for now, and I believe his teammate New Luigi is also the next one that is going to be coming across the line to get another valid lap in, if I'm not mistaken, or Packer is actually. However, New Luigi, he's purple in Sector 2, so I'm going to stick on board with the Belgian at his home Grand Prix, may I add. So we'll see how he fares on as he makes his way up towards the bus stop chicane, getting that stop very nicely at the 100 meter board, and this could be a very good time for him as he makes his way up towards the line. It's only P10, a 41.4 dead.
Yeah, it's still a decent lap time, but with the grid being that close, it's just a matter of thousands of seconds really to get yourself a few positions up or down the grids. Looking through, I'm not seeing anyone very close to ending the laps. Bullet Boy is heading into the pits, and I think Rudy is as well.
I
So,
believe Maledictus might be the next one, as I'm just watching him. He's just gone through pool one and coming through what I like to call just a long chicane, and he's invalidated.
He's just invalidated there. Quite unfortunate for him there. I think everyone is kind of on the way back to the pits. Papa Master seems to be on a lap dice. He's coming for pool one, and 8th gear up towards Lefanye. And down to 4th, missed the apex quite a bit, but gets the second one quite nicely, it seems, there on the exit up towards Savile downhill, and he goes over the grass a little bit. Missed the apex for that one as well. He's half a tenth up now, coming on towards the long back straights, which is quite a bit curved onto Blanchimont as well. And let's see how he fares the Haas. Takes quite a tight line, which is quite odd to see. Now up towards bus stop chicane, let's see, does he hit the apex quite nicely? Yes, he does. And for the second part, down to 1st gear, up toward the gears for 3rd, 4th, and the arrest is open, 141.3 for the half drive into P10.
It really is a matter of a thousandths of seconds. I mean, 6th down to, what's that, P12 is literally split by 10th. So it is a matter of a thousandths, and as you can see, I mean, 10th to 11th, it's a difference between starting on these set of tyres and a fresh set of tyres, and at the moment, it's 3 thousandths of a second splitting them. So I'm very intrigued to see how the rest of this qualifying is going to pan out. Another one I can see that is currently on a lap is Eloy Maurice. I think he, if I'm not mistaken, he is still yet to score any sort of points in Division 2. So hopefully that is subject to change for him for tonight. But again, we'll keep our eye out and see how he fares on with that one. But I mean, would you like to take us around with Maurice then, Verstappen?
I would like that, as he's coming through a Ravage up to 4th gear, now towards the no-name corner. 4th gear as well, to get the rotation a bit extra in, and now towards Pujon. Let's see, keeps it an Ave now. Keeps it an Ave actually throughout the corner, very impressive to see. Takes a tight line for the second part of Pujon, and now towards Lefanye. On to the right-hander, and now to the left, keeps in a 5th as well. Quite high gears we're seeing here from the AlphaTauri driver. We've not seen a lot from him this season yet. Let's see if that can change here, as he's a 112.9, 3 tenths up. This could be near Slash indeed. We'll have to see if he can get some time in the final sector as well to get to Slash this time. Now for Blanchimont, 320 kilometers an hour on to the bus stop chicane. Is he gonna hit that apex quite nice? Yes, he can. Final corner, let's see, Eloy Maurice on the throttle. The arrest is open, a 140.998, just less than half a tenth behind Slash there.
So the second one to get into the 40s, and what a lap that was from Maurice, splitting now the two Alfa Romeos. In fact, he has also retired from the session on track. Hopefully that doesn't impede anybody as they make their way on that outlaps at the moment. Packer, who I was just going on board with, I believe invalidated going up Radion, so he's gonna just take it slow on this lap and look to go for another lap here. But at the moment, it's looking very good for the Alfa Romeo. Slash in 1st and Bullet Boy in 3rd. I mean, I'm very intrigued to see how Bullet Boy and Gary are going to do, especially considering these guys moved down from Division 1 to Division 2. And also same with New Aloisi, because I haven't seen much from him since he's joined Division 2. Around, of course, his home circuit, I'm hoping he's going to maybe pick up the pace a little bit more. But, I mean, you're the expert here, Verstappen. What do you think? Do you reckon these guys are going to be able to keep up with all of them?
We'll have to see, of course, but Butterboy is looking quite quick at the moment. Of course, being a reserve, stepping in for back, he's also moved down. So, yeah, a few guys there now changed his vision. Yeah, I think these guys do have the pace to stay with the pack here, and I think we'll be seeing a lot more of them throughout. I'm checking through if there's anyone close to finish the lap, as we have 30 seconds remaining. Few yellows there as you are just starting the laps or just about finishing them.
Yeah, I believe they
one of the
are.
Ferraris is coming up. It's Spack just starting his lap. Ryan starting, so it will be Exo Gary, I think, next to come through, as he is a bit more than 2 tenths up, almost 3 tenths. So that could be interesting to see throughout as he's coming up towards Blanchimont. Can he finish off and maybe get into the top 10? It will be only like 2-3 tenths to actually get into the top 10. Now towards the bus stop, brake quite nicely, second gear. And now first for a bit more rotation on the front end and rear end as well. Onto the line, Exo Gary, 6th place, 141.2.
Slots that in there. Rick as well didn't actually manage to improve, so P5 was the best that he could do as well. I believe there is an Alfa Romeo that's just coming across the line now, and I believe that was Slash. He did not improve on his time. I can also see Lando Norris is also making his way across the line. P10 he goes, and that gets dropped down
P3.
instantly. Yes, because Nico going up into P3. Maledictus comes home and finishes in P12 for qualifying. I believe New Aloisi, it's not him, it is Skyzy. He goes into the pits. I thought he was about to make his way around the final corner, but he does decide to back off of that in the end. Hardy is going to be the next one to finish his lap, and in fact, he's also invalidated his lap, so he is not looking to improve. But the one dropping down from D1 to D2, Bullet Boy up towards the line. Is it in contention with any of those guys? Yes, it is. He puts it on pole position for now, because there are still a lot of guys looking to improve on their lap. New Aloisi, he goes into the pits. Puppet Master, I believe, also goes into the pits as Packer up to the line. The best he can do is P18. So not very good from him, as Seb, I believe, improved up to P4.
Yep.
Just up ahead of Nico.
Spack improves up into P9 just about, and the last one to come across the line is Exo Ryan as he's coming off the line. He's invalid, unfortunately. It was a 41.4. Wouldn't have got him any more than this at the moment, but it's a 1-2 for Alfa Romeo in qualifying. And fun fact, last time in D2 we had another 1-2, but that was for Red Bull back in the day for Cookie Games and Maledictus, I believe.
Yeah. And I believe it was actually at this track as well. So for some reason, it just seems to be teams are looking like they're loving sitting at the top. One specific team, shall I say. And a bit of an interesting thing as well. I've seen Vatefield in division, in the chat, put that Alfa Romeo were also 1-2 in D1 qualifying. So Alfa Romeo definitely are representing themselves.
Yeah, they definitely have seem to show good pace all around, at least in D1 and D2 as far as I know. So good to see, but so far all on the 140.9, very close between them all. Less than a tenth between the top 4 is quite amazing to see. There's a bit of a gap to Nico. And then if you look at the gap from P5 to 17, that's 0.3 of a second. It's quite insane to see.
That's actually, that is insane. Even then, 4 tenths from 1st to 17th. That's, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. We might even have to get
It's quite common in D2, to be honest, but yeah.
I mean, we might even have to get the stats out and see what it's like from last season's one as well, because that, I mean, this has got to be the closest I think we've seen it so far.
Yeah, but I can do your rundown for the grid. As Bullerboy and Slash on the front row, Maurice and Seb just in behind, with Nico and Zadema on the 3rd row. Then Rick and Gary, Spack and Skyzy rounding out the top 10 for 3 tire shows. We have Iro Dillon, Lando in 12th, then Maledictus, Puppet Master, Nemo Luigi, Exo Hardy, and Exo Ryan, Iro Packer, and Rudy is unfortunately a bit off the pace, but he'll look to bounce back into the race.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye out on the guys that, of course, are starting outside of the top 10. I mean, they, as you said, they are going to be going on their free choice tyre unless it's raining. If it's raining, then it really has screwed them over. But if it isn't, and again, I haven't been told if it is, although it's looking very dark, I'm
It's looking dark,
intrigued.
but I think it's just about dry.
Yeah, it's definitely dry, but again, it could be the chance where it could go to rain possibly midway through. You never know. Um, yeah, I mean, I am definitely looking forward to seeing how this is going to go. Give us a top 3 prediction. I want to see what you think.
I'm gonna say Slash is gonna win this one. Second place, I'm gonna go for Nico. And I think third place is gonna be Dylan. I think he might try it with an opposite strategy perhaps and get through the field. I think Dylan is capable of that.
So you think Slash will take? You say Slash will take the win, or Bullet Boy? Did you say
Slash
Slash? So
will take the
Slash
win.
and the 2 Red Bulls.
Yes.
Okay. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. I think Slash will take the win as well. I think Nico will get second. I think you are right on that one. But I'm actually going to go with Mr. Scuderia Seb for taking P3. I think Maurice will probably just be shy off that because I know racing Maurice around this track, he is very quick around Spa, as you've seen in qualifying. He's in P3 at the moment. But I feel like it's just more of his 1 lap pace, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying because I'm pretty sure he knows it as well. It is more of just his 1 lap pace, and hopefully he proves me wrong tonight. However, I don't know. It's just a tough one to call for certain. But just looking at the tyres outside of the top 10, everybody is on a set of mediums, other than Rudy, who's right at the back of the grid, on a set of the softs. So Rudy could be playing a massive part in how these guys in the mediums do in the race. Of course, he's going to have a bit of a better start than those guys on the mediums. So I'm a bit intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued.
And then we should explain that usually the strategy here is a soft medium quite easily, I'd say. Pit window, I think you'd see the first pit stop around lap 7, about there, maybe 8. So feeling a bit ambitious. And yeah, the guys on mediums will probably be trying an opposite strategy. Of course, you never know with safety cars or maybe some wet weather, as you said, could throw some spice into the race.
No, of course, and as you can see now, obviously down the bottom of your screen, for the guys that are watching, that is the predicted pit stop strategy. Apparently, the game, they reckon it's 8 to 9, but Verstappen is right, it's usually around sort of 7 to 8, or if you're on a set of the mediums to go to the set of softs, it's about lap 14, lap 15, you want to make the pit stop for the set of the softs to then go to the end on those. So the guys, of course, Dylan is one that we need to keep our eye out on, the same with Lando Norris and Mala, of course, with all of those guys. The top 3 on the medium compound of tyres. If there's a late safety car, this could really play into the hands. If there's an early safety car, it could really play into the hands, of course, on the guys that are on a set of the softs, and could absolutely hamper the guys that are on the mediums currently. But all of these guys are making their way up towards the grid spots now. Of course, we've just got to wait for Rudy at the back as well. And once he is at the back, we can get this race underway. But as I said, top 3 predictions. I said Slash, Nico, and who did I say? I said Scuderia Seb. And of course, Verstappen goes with Slash, Nico, and Dylan. Let's see if those are going to be right, as everyone is now just made their way to the grid. And let's get this well underway. So here we go. We've got 3, 4, and 5.
So do you get underway now? Bullet looks to be having a massive start onto turn 1. And in behind we have Slash still there. There's a bit of timing glitch going on. It seems to be all clean so far as I can see. Bit of run and right. There's someone is round there at the back, and that is one of them. Says Nemo Luigi's into the wall. Packer, that's not Packer. That's Puppet Master. There's a safety car out. Puppet Master is out of the race. I think he's got into collision with Maledictus and Nivaluigi. It seemed like those guys were involved into that, and that's quite unfortunate to see for them.
Yeah, it certainly is as well. But like you said, Bullet Boy, very good getaway for him. It says that Ryan, for some reason, is at the top of the sheet, which is definitely not right. I'm sure he would love to be up there, though. But I can definitely tell you it is not right. But yeah, no, very unfortunate for Puppet Master. Of course, him getting caught up with Maledictus and New Waluigi. I think Maledictus must have had a bit of a poor start if he was caught up within within those guys. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think he was ahead of those guys, even going in towards turn 1. So he must have had a bit of a poor start from that one. But I mean, the order more or less looks the same as what it was at the start. It looks like the whole of the top 10 have also sort of stayed the way that they are. New Waluigi picks himself up a 3-second time penalty under the safety car. Let's have
Quite
a
impressive.
look. Yeah, very impressive.
And Nivaluigi seems to be having damage as well, so it may be something to do with that. His left side of the wing seems to be almost completely gone. Almost 11 in this session now. Interesting to see is anyone gonna try and gamble, maybe try and go to the heart and to the ends of the race? Because I know it's definitely possible. It's just a very risky one because I don't think the hearts have too much grip. So let's see if anyone's gonna go for that.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that are on the set of the mediums already, I feel like they're probably going to be the ones that will be in contention if people do go on the pits. And Slash is one of them. Did anybody else follow him? I can't see anybody else going into the pits.
It doesn't look like that. Dylan is in.
And
Dylan's going for it. Lando's in. And looks like Rudy's in as well. And Nivaluigi, of course, with his damage, he has to, kinda.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting strategy. Maledictus is in as well. Yeah, these guys are going into the hearts. And it will be interesting to see as Lando, I don't know if you're seeing this, it at least shows up, but he is on intermediate tires. He must have selected the wrong tires, I reckon. Now he will be fine because he can just go back to the pits after this, but yeah, that's quite important to see for him. Nivaluigi is on the mediums, so he's not going to try this. As the timing glitches are just sorting themselves out after this. If everyone is past the Sector 1 split, they will be fine again, don't worry about that. Yeah, quite interesting to see from Slash taking the gamble to go in the heart, and maybe towards the end of the race, I reckon he will try that.
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see what, because I know it means that New Waluigi's going to have to do a 2-stop. From what happened on the PC race yesterday, I know 2 guys did the same thing as what he did. They went onto the set of the mediums, and then I believe he even started on the set of the mediums already anyway, so he's definitely going to be having to pit again. So it's a very interesting one for New Waluigi. I don't know if he meant to select the hards or if he actually meant to select the mediums, but Slash is the one that I'm very intrigued in because he's gone on a set of the hards. He's the first one that's gone on that hard compound tyre. Of course, Dylan and Rudy both follow him in, and it could play into their hands. But I just don't see it happening. I feel like Hardy, Ryan and Packer might even jump them come towards the end of the race because they're going to be on the set of the softs compared to them still on their hards that they've obviously pit on for on that lap. So I don't know. It's a bit an interesting one. Of course, Lando Norris is going to need a pit again though.
Yeah. For someone like Dylan, this definitely plays into the right cards because compared to, if you look where he is compared to Slash, he was first about 10 positions behind him. Now he's well, he's going to be right behind him, so that will help him a lot, I think. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, and of course, these guys not having to pit anymore will play in a factor as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. I am looking forward to seeing how this is going to go come towards the end of the race. Of course, if there's another safety car, then it's completely ruined the strategies of Slash and Dylan and Rudy. Lando Norris back into the pits he goes. New Waluigi does follow him, so I think he also realised he's put on those wrong tyres. I think, in fact, he was trying to just change one compound of it, so then it shows that he's gone onto, like, so if you go obviously on the soft, so you go around and then you come back into the pit. It would. He
did start on medium, so I don't think that's going to be an issue anyway. So I'm guessing he's just selected the wrong tires, to be honest.
Yeah.
But will be interesting. I think if is, and this is a common thing around Spa, if there's going to be a huge DRS train, I think this will play into the hands of the guys, such as the guys on the mediums, Hardy, Ryan and Packer. Same with the guys on the hards as well, as they can just stick with the guys up ahead and don't lose time. There's going to be a lot of battles, which can happen as well, you lose a lot of time. These guys on the hards will have quite a tough time, because someone like Bullet Boy and Maurice can just run away with it, basically, and allowing them to pit closer to the hard runners.
No, of course, and Bullet Boy just going very, very wide on the exit. I thought almost going into the wall, almost what Cookie did last season. Hopefully we won't get a repeat of that. But
yeah, that was quite a moment, you have to say. We'll talk after it as well. But yeah, he luckily didn't for him. So I think we'll be getting underway this lap again, lap 3 of 22. So let's see.
yeah, I'm very intrigued. As I said, those guys that are on the hards are definitely ones we need to keep our eye on, especially considering that everybody else up ahead of them are going to need to make pit stops, and we can even see if these guys on the hards are going to make any places up. I mean, I don't think that they will, but I mean, someone could be caught sleeping, and they could literally just zoom past them, especially at the safety car restart. So we'll keep our eye on it. But as you see down the bottom left of your screen, safety car is in this lap, and we're going to wait for Bullet Boy to be able to go ahead and make the getaway. However, as you've seen, I think Slash went into the back of Packer, so that might have hampered his strategy if he got himself any wing damage. I don't know if you want to quickly just see if he has gotten any.
I'm trying to see. It doesn't look like he has any visible damage, so if it is minor. We're going to have to see when Bullet Boy does get in the way, and he's just gone on the way, halfway down towards bus stop chicane, and he's got a good restart compared to Maurice. Lando's getting a time penalty there for collision with Maledictus. Don't know what's going on there. Back on the way we go. Rick is right onto the back of QV and Nico. Into turn 1, is he going to go for anything? Lando's into pit, he must have gotten damage from the collision. In the meantime, Rick is looking down the inside of Nico, up towards Arush and Radion, and I don't think he's going to go for it here. Has to stay in behind, but look at the gap Bullet Boy has got compared to Maurice, and Scooter Youssef is looking as well, so gotta keep an eye on that as well. Rick is the closest one to the Red Bull at the moment though, and he's looking towards down the inside of the Red Bull car. Rick up towards Lacombe, is he gonna make the move work? Down the inside, still side by side they go. Nico looks to be holding on to that, and he's still into P4, maintains that position for now.
Yeah, very good move. Oh, Bullet Boy!
Bullet Boy is into the wall.
He's gone round.
He's
yeah.
into the wall out of Lacombe.
For some reason, there's no yellow flags.
So to see, I hope it's not a glitch, because that'd be a bit unfortunate for us to see. But yeah, he's out of the race. It looks like his tire is loose. I don't know. It's a bit odd to see, but and it's a VSC actually. So I don't know what was going on with this car there. It looks very odd, but this I think he may have been stuck or just waited. I don't know, but it has caused a virtual safety car for now. And will anyone decide now to pit? The Lando is picking up drive-through as well, speeding, and the VSC here is not having the race of his dreams, really, gotta say.
Certainly isn't. But go back to your question. I mean, you just said about if you might see anyone pit. I mean, it could work out for the guys that are on a set of the softs. If they chose to possibly go on a set of the mediums, it means they'll have to do quite a bit of time management, but they could go into the pits this lap as Dan
is in.
He is the first one to execute it. Yeah, both of the XL boys, I'm sure they're obviously in a party speaking together as well. So both of those guys are going into the pits, I'm assuming, to go on a set of the mediums.
And the VSC is ending now.
It certainly has. So back underway. Maurice is now the one that is leading the way with Skeb in second, Nico in third, Rick in fourth, Mr. Skyzy in fifth, and Spank in sixth. Bit of a gap that's actually formed between all of those guys, and I think Spank's going to start to come under a bit of pressure from Hardy.
It does look like that he doesn't look to be having the best VSC period there. As we've got to keep an eye on Slash, closing up to the back of Packer as well. So he is closing up to the house, but is not close enough for a move into Lacombe here, and has to stay behind in 10th place.
Yeah, he certainly does as well. And I mean, Maurice, at the moment, this is looking like an absolute dream for him. sitting up in first position. Considering, as I said, I don't believe he's gotten any points in Division 2 yet, and his first set of points could literally be a win. And I'm sure he would absolutely love that. So, yeah, I mean, well, we'll keep our eye out, of course, as I said, on the guys that are on the hard / doing a very good job, and same with Dylan, of keeping up with these guys that are on a set of the mediums, because this could really help them come towards the end of the race, especially considering that everybody else up ahead of them still needs to make their pit stops. Of course, Hardy and Ryan and Packer all on a set of the mediums, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen. They are keeping up with Spag. Spag's starting to lose a bit of touch with Skyzy. The two QVR boys, I'm sure, again, they're probably in a party with each other, but Spag just doesn't seem to be keeping up to pace with Skyzy as they're making their way through Blanchemont. Rick very close to the back of Nico, however, and not opting to go for a move as Nico. Massive lock up into the bus stop chicane. And Rick could be taking advantage of this coming towards turn 1, although I believe he's going to think better to just stay behind him for now, as I believe DRS is not activated on this lap, but I think it's the next lap it's activated. Oh no, it's this lap.
No, DRS is activated this lap, actually. So we're going to have to see if Scooter SF is going to try anything at Maurice. He has the DRS advantage so far, but Maurice still has a fair amount to defend with. So I don't think Scooter SF is close enough. Rick is one who could make a move, although. As he's opened up engaging the overtake button, open up the DRS, Lico towards the in-flights, but Rick goes further and he is through there. Rick into P3 for now.
Yeah, Rick, I feel like there's a bit of an easy standard move. Of course, DRS, there's not much you can do, especially down the Camel Straight, one of the longer straights, of course, on the calendar as well. So, not much that he can particularly do. Rick into now a podium position, and of course Nico now coming under a bit of pressure from Skyzy, again another QVR counterpart, all potentially battling for what is going to be the final podium position. But was also on board with Scuderia Seb. He was absolutely closing up to him, but just couldn't quite get the move done on Maurice. I think Maurice was just a little bit too far ahead, and he's looking like he's doing a very good job of just keeping a bit of a gap to Scuderia Sib, to the point where it's going to be a struggle for him to try and keep up, especially under DRS as well. So Maurice just maintaining that first at the moment. However, Scuderia Seb, he's closing back up to the back of him, and another battle that looks like it's about to emerge is one between Packer and Ryan, and I know these guys have a bit of history between each other as well, and this is going to be a bit of a spicy battle as Packer looking to go down the inside in towards the bus stop chicane. Ryan brakes very late to make sure he does stay up ahead and keep the inside for the exit of the bus stop chicane. Maintains that P8 position, and of course he's now dropping out of DRS to Hardy, which is then going to compromise him. However, he does manage to have that DRS going in towards turn 1. Just going to the Camel Straight. I think he could be a bit of a sitting duck for this one.
It does look like that. Dan sets the fastest lap of the race. There's a few moves, maybe on the right here. Could we set? Is he close enough for a move on Maurice? I don't think he is, so we'll have to go on to some different action. Hardy is looking at Spack here on the inside. Offacom seems to be an easy move for the McLaren there. Packers now down the inside of Ryan. Side by side they go for the com. Still side by side for the left-hander as well. Ryan just edges ahead and he taps back around just about. Slash has to avoid that. And Packer is unfortunately around there, and he's going to have a lot of time to make up now.
Yeah, I said it was going to be a bit tight. It was going to be a feisty race between the both of them, and feisty it definitely was. Both Ryan and Packer side by side. I think Packer may have been a little bit too ambitious to try and keep that car right there with Ryan, and well, it's of course cost him. He's now down in P14 behind the hard runners that have already made their pit stop. So Packer, this could be, well, this couldn't be many points for him, I don't think. Whether he actually gets any at all come the end of the race, very unfortunate for him. But back towards the top end of the race, Scuderia Seb, look how much he is gaining on Maurice. I'm starting to think that Scuderia Seb is running much lower wings than what Maurice is, because it just seems to be in Sector 1 and Sector 3. He is just gaining on him, like, almost all the time, of course,
Nico's
with the help of DRS. As, yeah, Nico into the pits, the same as Skyzy, so, and Spag. So, of course, yeah, all of these guys going into the pits to get their compounds of tyres on. I believe they're going on a set of the mediums as Hardy, on 7-lap-old mediums, has just set the fastest lap of the race.
The Spag is on the hards.
Ooh.
Interesting for the Ferrari driver there. I don't know if he meant to do that, but I'll have to see about that. And look at where Dan emerges. He is quite a bit ahead of Nico there. That could be an interesting one to see if he's going to be able to do something. The VSC pit-stop may have helped him quite a bit after all.
And really quickly on board with Maledictus, he's closing up to the back of Rudy, coming up towards, I think he said it was Lecom as well. Just has to hang back from the Williams, but you can see Rudy, he's not within DRS of Dylan, so he's starting to drop back a bit as Mala really trying to find a way past. It's now allowing New Aloisi to maybe try and look at a bit of an attack. I wish we could be seeing this year a Mercedes versus Ferrari. Of course, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to. But I suppose Division 2 is going to offer that anyway, as we're going to see New Aloisi just hold on to the back of Maledictus for now, and I don't think we're going to see any moves going through this Sector 2 portion unless one of them end up having a bit of a collision with each other.
Yeah, a mistake at the name as well, as Maledictus does run wide a little bit there, but he keeps quite nicely on track, dealing with a time penalty. Unfortunately, that won't help his cause for getting up to the back of Slash. I have to see if this yellow flags is
Packer.
don't know who that is, to be honest.
I think that's Packer. Yeah,
Packer,
he's dropped back
maybe.
massively. Yeah, he was right on the back of those guys on the hards, and yeah, he's done it once again at the beginning of Sector 3. As I believe you're about to say, Maurice and Rick both into the pits, but Seb stays out.
Yeah, he's trying the overcut, see if that works for him. Both mediums, I reckon, for these guys. Yes, there will be. And that's going to be interesting to see where Maurice comes out in comparison to Dan and Nico, for example. Dan is just coming right past start-finish. Maurice is just coming out of the pits there. So we go on board with Dan. You can see this. He is pretty close behind Maurice, you have to say. Rick is just behind Dan. And Nico is still behind all these guys. So the undercut hasn't helped for Nico, I have to say. But this is just one big train at the moment. Skyzy's onto the back of Exo. Gary now for 14th place. Let's see. Can he make a move? He has the overtake enabled. Down the inside, the Frenchman goes on the Irishman. Still side by side through Lecom. Is the Frenchman going to be able to make the move work unlike Packer did? Still side by side through and towards a Ravage then. And I think Skyzy has got the move done. And that's a good move from the Frenchman there.
Yeah, it certainly was. Very good battling between the pair of them. Gary, as he said, I think a bit of a sitting duck as he went through Radion. I think it just looked like Skyzy was just a little bit more confident going through it, and as a result of that, it's caused Skyzy to get up ahead of Gary. A few guys just literally picking themselves up time penalties there. Packer, I think, was one of them, and then Rudy and Maledictus as well picking themselves up 3-second time penalties. So those guys on the set of the hards, I think the only two that aren't are Slash and New Aloisi at the moment that are yet to... Oh no, New Aloisi has a 3-second penalty, I remember that. So Slash, the only one on the set of the hards to not pick up a penalty as Seb is in. Slash, he's starting to close to the back of Ryan.
He is definitely starting to close, and those hards must be getting a little bit better at this stage. Closing up towards the racing point of some older set of mediums there. We're gonna have to see if Slash does have some ERS, but Ryan has some more to defend with himself with. But the question is he gonna do that, or is he gonna let Slash sail by? As just looking where Scuderia Seps comes out, as Slash is going past Ryan. I don't think Ryan has a lot to defend with and lets him pass. Scuderia Sep has Dan and Rick right behind him. Rick is closing up to the back of Dan, and now towards the Camel Straight. Is it going to be a free white moment? Dan is looking like he's boxed in. They're looking free white at the moment. There's a bit of collision there as well. Rick, Seb and Dan still side by side. Rick is looking to make a double move work. Goes a bit wide there. Seb holds on to the position, but Rick is past Dan. And that's quite amazing as he is running wide, Rick, and Dan is getting through here. Nico's now looking as well into the back of these guys. Still side by side between Rick and Dan, however. Into no name. Rick goes a bit wide. Nico's closing up to the back of him. Can Nico follow through up towards Boom? This is very close race, and Dan is getting off track. Rick is now through, Nico's through, and Skies is looking into the back of Dan as well now. Round the outside of Lefanya, that will be a move to say thank you to, and looks like he's gonna. Dan is looking to switch back. It's not gonna happen, and Rudy is tied for the session, and New Luigi has, I think, got caught up in that. I don't know. I saw a Mercedes there as a safety car now. And that's going to play into the hands of Hardy at the moment.
Oh, it certainly will. Yeah, straight into the pit he goes, and I do not blame him whatsoever. Everybody else,
Slashes in.
yeah, everybody else going in the set, going into the pits. The guys that are on the set of the hards at the moment can go on the mediums to the end, which is
Let's
really
see.
going to help them.
Maurice stays out, so the guys who've just pitted onto mediums will probably stay out, I reckon. Dan decides to go in, and Gary as well. So a few guys actually opting for the soft tires. It's interesting to see if they're gonna make it towards the end. It will be close, but I think it's possible. Hardy is just about coming out beside Rick, and I think he's ahead.
He was ahead, yeah. Certainly was
And
ahead.
Olaf is still going on here. Maurice is into the lead, however, in front of Scuderia Sepp. Axel Hardy in third on soft tires, though, which is the note, and he'll be going on the charge. Look out for him. Rick in fourth, and it's Nico and Skies in fifth and sixth. Ryan 7 also on softs. Then Dylan and Slash was lost out to this, and he is in ninth place at the moment. But I don't think he had another option because his hards are not going to make that at least easy to defend with, compared to all these guys on mediums and softs.
Yeah, certainly are. And I'm very intrigued to see how the likes of Hardy, Ryan, and Packer on the softs on lap 11. This is going to be very tight for them. I think they can probably just about do it, but it's definitely going to be tight. And Hardy, if I'm not mistaken, is still yet to pick up a win in Division 2, of course, from being moved up to Division 3. And this is his perfect opportunity to be able to get himself that win that he wanted, especially, as I said, from moving up from Division 3, as I said, my ex-teammate. So he's definitely on the cusp of having an amazing race happen for him. But like you were saying, Dylan, Slash, Dan and Gary as well, it hasn't worked out for them. They were moving up the field, especially from doing an undercut on these guys that were on the set of the softs before, and now they're down in 13th and 14th.
Yeah, it's not really worked out for them, it's got to say, but it has worked out for Hardy, and his chance maybe to close up to Rick and Dylan in the championship, and also going for that win as well, is quite huge now. It's, of course, in the standings we have Rick ahead of Dylan by 27 points, 5 points behind that we have Hardy. So yeah, it's looking like Hardy is going to close up. At least he has a big chance to.
Yeah, especially considering, as you said, on the softer compounder tyre, he's just got to make sure he doesn't, well, essentially just to make sure he doesn't bottle it.
Packer's in.
It's easier said than done. Oh, Packer into the pits.
Not too sure what that's about. I see was just on softs. I check if he has any penalty or something. But I doubt he'll be able to serve it.
I think he's going on another
he
set
has
of
a 5-second
mediums.
time penalty. Yeah, he may think that the softs won't make it to the end. That might be a thing
Possibly.
to consider. Because of course it's gonna be about, well, 10 laps of racing, I reckon we're gonna have, so
Yeah.
maybe 9.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a close call for them, but I think it's possible. We'll have to see how they fare.
No, of course, and at the moment it's looking like none of our predictions are exactly going our way. I don't think any of us, I don't think the both of us predicted Maurice 7
Scuderia
and
Sepp
Hardy.
for you. Yeah, Scuderia Sepp is for you. He had him on the podium, so I guess that is something. And
that's
Nico
all.
is not too far off either. Let's see. Nico is, of course, in 5th place. He's not out of it just yet, so gonna have to see if he can make his way up to confirm our predictions correct. But
Indeed.
we'll have to see. We're just waiting on Lando to close up as he was completely out of it, but fair play to Sticken to driving around, and well, he's gonna get his chance now on the softs.
Certainly is, and just looking in the chat as well, Rudy's just saying that he messed up at turn 15 and that he smashed it into the wall. I think just as we expected, and I don't think New Aloisi did get caught up in that, so it was lucky for him that he managed to avoid that happening. Of course, he's sitting currently in P10, and funny enough, actually by where Slash and Dylan are as well. I'm a bit interested to see how Ryan's going to keep up ahead of these guys as well. So the two XL boys of Hardy and Ryan, this is where it could be interesting for the both of them because they're both on a set of the softs. They're going to try and take these to the end, of course. I don't know, this could be very tight for how they're going to do, but of course we're just going to watch Maurice lead this safety car to come back, to resume racing once again. And I mean, I don't know how to say it. I just don't know. I don't know who to call as Maurice.
He's gone.
Straight away.
And let's see how he fares. And he's got a decent gap to Scuderia Sepp, but he wasn't fully sleeping. And let's see if Scuderia Sepp can pressurize the AlphaTauri, but Maurice seems a bit away. 8 tenths is the gap at the moment, and looking in behind, Ryan is onto the back of Skyzy now. For 6th place, not to turn 1, I reckon there's going to be a move, but further down we have Dan and Spack battling here into turn 1. Spack going a bit wide, and Dan stays ahead. Lando's got past Packer, I think. So he's going to make his way up further up the grid. Let's see. Hardy's onto the back of Scuderia Sepp, but not close enough. Skies is onto the back of Nico now. And coming towards the Camel Straight. The Skies is going to make the move stick around the outside. It's going to be difficult for the Mercedes. Closing up. Nico's just about staying ahead there. Harsh but a fair fight from the Red Bull there. Further down the grid, not any moves, so it stays kind of in order. Gary picking up a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately for him. The grid is kind of together, but it's Nico is kind of lacking at the moment, and he has to close the gap up towards Rick.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds. He's already lost out to those top 4.
Lando.
So he did have a very, very
Lando's
slow
good.
getaway, and yeah, as you were saying, Lando as well. Moving up 2 places already, getting past Spag and getting past Packer as Mala and Gary both trading places as Gary around the outside to then have the inside towards the end of Sector 2. A massive lockup coming into the beginning of Sector 3 for the AlphaTauri. But nonetheless, it looks like it's all sort of still very, very even so far. At the moment, Ryan and Hardy haven't been able to capitalise on them being on the soft compounded tyre, and hopefully for the both of them, not just saying that because I'm in XL, but they can actually move up a bit more, just so at least then they can try, because as I said, the set of softs, they're going to go off probably within the next 4 to 5 laps, so they're going to be struggling come towards the end of the race. In order for them to make their moves, they really need to do it right now.
You'd say so. I think they'll go a bit longer than that. Of course, a fresh set of tyres compared to the softs we had at the start. But Skies is again looking onto the back of Nico. He wants to get past eagerly, it seems. Both of them using a lot of overtake. Skies moving towards the inside of the Camel Straight. But is he close enough to break down into Lacombe? Is he close enough, and can he make it work? No, Nico sweeps around the outside and keeps 5th position for now. Ryan is onto the back of Sky. He's pushing him for the corner there. And is he going to go for a move down to reverse? He's not close enough for that. Slash and Dylan though. Slash down the inside of Dylan. Is he going to get through? That's the beauty of a move. Dylan is still looking to hang it around the outside. Into No Name down the inside. Is he going to go an Albon-esque move, as we'd like to say? Opens up the engaged is the overtake button, and it is through. He keeps that position with a hard fight there. A good fight in between the two of them.
Yeah, very good move from Dylan to be able to just get back up ahead of Slash and manage to defend that position from him as well. Dylan, of course, trying to manage his way back up to where Rick is at the moment. Of course, Rick in 4th and Dylan in 8th. It's going to give Rick a bit more of an extension on Dylan, but then it's also going to allow Hardy to then move up ahead of him in this championship if things stay the way that they are currently. So I'm very intrigued to see how this is going to fare on come towards the end of the races. Gary is very close to the back of New Waluigi as well as they're going for a Belgium and up towards the bus stop chicane. I don't think the Irishman's going to try and go for any sort of move at the moment, but come towards the Camel Straight, we're going to see a massive DRS train, that's for certain. And I believe, in fact, Rick, he's out of that DRS.
Yeah, he is at the moment. He's struggling to keep with the top 3 at the moment, who are getting away. But the gap is a lot closer for Scuderia Sepp now, and with the DRS enabled, can he make the move? The Renault's closing up to the AlphaTauri. Maurice is using a lot of DRS at the moment. Can he defend? I think he's just about to save to stay ahead for now. He's left the session looking in behind. Slashes once again onto the back of Dylan, and further up ahead we have Skyzy around the outside of Nico. And let's see, can the Mercedes make it stick? It's still side by side. Nico's actually fallen back. I've not noticed that, and he's spun out of the left-hander, I think. And he's all the way down in 16th at the moment. Does he have any damage? But there must have been some contact with Skyzy there, and that's unfortunate for the Red Bull driver. Doesn't look like he has damage, so he may be able to close back up to the pack as he's not too far away. But that's still unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I mean, he was battling with, who was it, Skyzy, I think it was. I think it was at the same at Lacombe as well. So I think very unfortunate for Nico, as he's now down, well, what is last place. And I'm sure the Spaniard's going to want to try and move his way back up through the field. Of course, I think he was one of the only ones that didn't make a pit stop under that safety car because he was already on those set of medium tyres. So he's going to be taking those to the end, and unfortunately they're now going to be burnt up. As just looking down the fields, Zardeman and Maledictus both side by side going through Blanchimont. Zardeman now trying to go around the outside and down the inside for the bus stop chicane. He's holding it down that inside, and a bit of a tap from Lando Norris on the back of Maledictus. Maledictus has gone round at the bus stop.
That's very odd. I didn't see what exactly happened, but as I said, there must have been a tap. Looking up the field, I'm going to refocus the intention to the leader. As Scuderia Step is 2 tenths by Maurice. This should be a dumb move for the Renault. Overtake open, DRS is open. This is not going to be any sort of fight to have for Maurice, and he has to tuck in behind and maybe try again later. Scuderia Step is up into the lead, and we have Ryan to the back of Skyzy. Seems to get past quite easily, and he's up at 5th and can now make use of his soft tyres a bit more.
No, of course, and I believe this is actually going to be, if Ryan stays where he is, Touchwood jinx everything, if he stays where he is, this is going to be his highest points finish so far this season, and his second points finish this season. Unfortunately, the racing point is only on 5 points, so this is going to be a very good result for him. As Dylan, yet another 3-second time penalty. We've just seen him going very wide at that no-name corner. So Dylan wants to try and be careful because he's now got 2 of those 3-second time penalties to his name. It's going to drop him back massively if he isn't careful.
It definitely is, with field being that close, of course. No place is guaranteed, and he's going to have to basically hope that a lot of others are going to pick up some penalties.
Of course.
In the meantime, let's see, Slash is onto the back of Dylan, actually. But for 8 tenths, I don't think he's close enough for a move into the bus stop. And I think as Rick is close back up to the top 3, I've just noticed. So he might have a chance still there. Gonna have to see as Ryan's pulling away from Skyzy as well. There's a second gap just about. Skyzy maybe hanging on, but he doesn't have DRS for this low straight. So Ryan sets a fast lap of the race with a 144.5. Meanwhile at the top, Maurice, is he gonna try and retake the lead of the Renault, or is Hardy gonna try something? Of course, with both of them, Maurice and Hardy having DRS, it won't be easy for Hardy to get a move on. Maurice has more of a chance though, and is gonna engage the ERS, I think. No, he's gonna stay behind. Only DRS open, and yeah, he's staying behind for now. As Gary is looking onto the back of Slash. Slash almost out of ERS. Gary as well. And is he gonna look around the outside of Lacombe? Is he gonna be able to make that move work? That would be an amazing move for the Irishman. It does look like he's gonna be able to still side by side the hold. But it looks like the Irishman has pulled off an amazing move. Slash is back down the inside into rebar. Still a bit of contact between them. Slash, is he going to hold on just like Dylan? Or yes, he is. Gary is, I think, backed out of that move and maintains in 9th place. But has got Slash out of the DRS of Dylan now, so that might be a bit easier next time Gary tries on Slash.
Yeah, I felt like it was a bit more of a forced move for Slash, and a bit of a bump pass from him, I must admit, but he has managed to maintain that P8 position, especially ahead of Gary as well. And New Luigi just sticking his nose in there, just keeping up to the back of these two. And now you can start to see Slash starting to lose a little bit of time, of course, from Dylan and Skyzy. But Skyzy already dropping out of that 1 second mark from Ryan as well. I know it was around this sort of gap coming to the bus stop last time as Dylan eyeing up a move on Skyzy, but he didn't opt to go for anything in towards the bus stop. However, Dan, very close to the back of New Luigi, and I think he may be trying to look to go down the inside. No, he does not. New Luigi just shuts the door on Dan, and now Lando Norris is putting all sorts of pressure under Dan as he's maybe opted to look for something going in towards turn 1, but has to stay behind for now. And now back up towards the front end of the field. Yeah, Maurice, massive mistake from him. He might even be out of the DRS from Scuderia Seb. He is, so Hardy DRS is open for him. This is his best opportunity he's going to get, and he's not optimized. He's not putting it in full swing. He's just having to stay behind. Maurice just looks very, very quick in a straight compared to what Hardy does. And at the moment, Hardy, on these soft tyres, he's not made the most of them, unlike what Ryan has done. Of course, Ryan now into P5, but Hardy's he stayed in P3.
Yeah, of course, but I don't think Ryan is really moving back up towards the top. I think he's actually lost a bit of time. So he's not really, the softs don't be looking to work out that well. But of course, they have got a bit of an advantage, but they'll be dropping off around now a little bit, I reckon. So yeah, it's not looking too great for Hardy, as he may have Rick onto the back pretty soon.
Yeah, he certainly is. Rick is just sort of holding on within that 1 second margin. It's very, very tight. In fact, it looks like it could be the chance that Rick could be dropping out of that 1 second margin as we go through the bus stop chicane. Of course, he will have the DRS going in towards turn 1, but it's going to be tight for the Finn to keep within those top 3 as Hardy, once again, very close to the back as Maurice. He's starting to drop back from Seb. Seb looks like he's a lot more comfortable on these medium tyres, and you can just see he's on the cusp of losing out that DRS. It depends on his exit out of turn 1, and it looks like it's been, well, it wasn't even a good enough exit. It looked like it was, but it wasn't. Although, I believe he will only just have it. Yeah, only just have that DRS to Seb. So, another save for Maurice on that one. Although you can start to see that red light is flashing on the back of his car from Hardy's point of view. Hardy is knowing that he is starting to run out of that DRS. And now, I was just going on board with that one. Dylan right behind Skyzy, both with the DRS. Dylan versus Skyzy. It's another Red Bull versus the Mercedes. Both side by side going in towards Lecom. Both still holding it, but Dylan, he breaks a little bit later than what Skyzy does. Gets the move done straight down the inside, up into P6, and he's now taking full advantage ahead of Slash. And yeah, Slash now down the inside of Skyzy in towards Rivage as well, and both still side by side. In fact, Slash trying to hold it around the outside. Bit of contact between the pair of them. Slash still both side by side. A little bit of wheel banging going on between the pair of them. Going in towards Poo on. Skyzy's going to be the one holding it in front, but they're still both side by side through it. Forces him off the track, and Slash picks up that penalty because of him going side by side with Skyzy, and they're both still side by side.
What an amazing battle between these two, and Skyzy looks to be holding it as he loses just about on the curb, and Slash runs into him.
Gary as well.
Gary as well. Skyzy has retired a virtual safety car there due to that at the moment. It's a huge incident. It was so great to see them battle for basically half a lap. Then Skyzy just about loses on the second part of that chicane, and Slash couldn't avoid it, Gary couldn't avoid it either at that point, and that's very unfortunate to see. There's not really anything that could be done about that.
No.
It's just, yeah, just too bad for all of them as we're getting back underway. At front, Hardy is looking to get a good exit out of turn 1 there. Sees him to the back of Maurice, but he's not close enough towards Origin Radio, of course. That's not really a place to make a move unless you're Mark Webber. Let's see, is Hardy gonna make a move? As Maurice is basically out of ERS. Is Hardy gonna make a move down towards the com? He's not engaging his overtake, so he's staying in behind. So Gary and Slash now into the pits. The top 3 remain as they are.
Yeah, they're certainly doing. Hardy, I think you can start to see his tyres are now starting to wear out a bit more now. And same with Ryan's. Ryan, 5.4 seconds behind these top 4. Of course, we've only got 3 laps left to go of this race as well. Both Gary and Slash into the pits on a set of the softs. Probably, especially with having to fix their wings, they're probably both going to try and go for the fastest lap of the race. But, yeah, I mean, these top 4, they haven't sort of moved apart from each other other than when Rick was just dropping back a little bit. But he managed to maintain, or managed to get himself back into that fight with these guys, and well, yeah, he's just done a very good job of just keeping up with them all, especially considering this title fight between himself and Dylan, where Dylan is still stuck behind Ryan. But as I said, Ryan's tyres are now starting to die. Meanwhile, obviously with a 3-second time penalty to his name, I think that's his second one now as well. But back on the Dylan, of course, he's now just 3 tenths behind Ryan. He's going to need to try and, well, he wants to try and get past him to try and maximise the amount of points that he can get. Of course, with him having 2 of those penalties as well, he's still going to drop down in the field. So I don't think there's much that Dylan can really do. well, for the rest of the race, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but I think he may have a move as Dan is now in the fast lap of the race. 144.5, I think it was the same as Hardy has either dropped off or made a mistake, because Rick is now only 3 tenths behind and Hardy doesn't have any DRS to defend himself with. Rick onto the back of the McLaren, easily races past the Williams. He's up at P3 and maybe he can now chase after the top 2.
And now Dylan as well.
Is now looking as well onto the back. Yep, looking down the inside of Ryan, and he should be passed quite easily, I think. He's up into P5, that will help him as well. Of course, he has those penalties, so he has to maybe bridge the gap towards the others. Nico and Maledict is going at it. Nico's down the inside, and he's passing to the last points paying position at the moment.
Yeah, he certainly is, and as I said, I think these softs are really starting to drop off now because, as I said, Hardy, he's already 9 tenths behind Rick, and he only overtook him a sector ago. So, yeah, I think these softs are really starting to die. As Dylan
may have made a mistake or spun that corn. I think he's damage free, but that curb may have caught him out, and yeah, he's damage free. So he has to recover. He's now back down in P11. That won't help his title fight at all.
No,
it will only help Hardy and Rick at the moment.
It certainly won't, and at the moment he's in for a P11, but I don't know if Nico and Maledict is behind him even have any penalties, so Dylan could actually be out of a points position. As we're about to approach the final lap of the race, yeah, New Waluigi on the back of Ryan. As I said, these softs are now starting up ahead of him. New Waluigi just holds behind him for now, but he wants to maintain that DRS up ahead of these guys as well. We're on to the final lap of the race, and I'm going to quickly go on board with these top 2 as Maurice. He's starting to drop back from Seb, however, I know he's going to be trying to use as much of his overtake, as much ERS as he possibly can. Although Seb, he's got a lot more in comparison to what Maurice does, and I don't think there's really anything Maurice is going to be able to do, so he's going to have to stay behind him for now, which means I'm going to go back on board with this battle here for P5, sorry, as New Waluigi and Dan all close to the back of Ryan. Now Dan, again, I don't think he's got any penalties to his name. New Waluigi now going down the inside of Lecom, and is Dan going to be able to maybe try and act on this as well? No, he does not, as Gary, fastest lap of the race, as Slash takes it straight off him. I think they actually just had the same lap time, which is very weird, but yeah, Dan, he's having to stay behind Ryan, and well, I think that's allowing New Waluigi to get away. New Waluigi now up into P5, but he has 6 seconds of penalties to his name, to my knowledge.
Yeah, at least 6 seconds, I know that. If we've missed any, that could be the case. Don't know if Ryan is penalty free. I have to see about that at the end of the race. And Dan may have a move on to Ryan fairly shortly, but it looks like Scuderia Sep is going to cruise to the win here. Just going to stay on board with the Excel guys, but I don't think, although Dan is looking close to the back of Ryan, they have similar amounts of ERS. I think we have to go on board with Scuderia Sep now, as he's coming towards the line. Renault taking his first win of the season, and it's a very good drive by him. Maurice in second and Rick in first. Go back to the Excel guys. I think Ryan is just about to manage to stay ahead, and Hardy's coming across in fourth. Ryan is moving up to fifth. He didn't have penalties. Dan is sixth. Spag is seventh without penalties. Good to see him keeping it clean once again. Kind of Noah for him. Landon eighth. Decent results for him. Packer ninth. Nivoluigi and the 2 Rebels ran out the points there.
So Dylan did manage to pick himself up some points, which is obviously good to see. Packer as well, despite being, I think it was in second to last at the beginning of the race, goes up into P9. But Scuderia Seb, like you said, his first win of the season. Maurice as well, his first points position, and it's in P2. So I'm sure Maurice is going to be absolutely ecstatic with that one. Rick taking that final part of the podium, extending that championship lead to, well, I'm sure that gap is huge by now. I'm sure he was already ahead by a race win, and I'm sure that's just grown even more, as I believe Hardy goes into second on the standings.
I think you're correct in saying that. Let me check if no one actually manages to get past, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, but so, whilst you are checking,
yeah, it's going to be.
I will just say, of course, again, congratulations to Scuderia Seb for taking the win for this evening around the Spa of Francorchamps. Again, I still don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure I hope I am. But yeah, of course.
It's close. It's close.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do for me.
Yeah.
But Hardy and Ryan, I must admit, 16th and 17th on the grid to 4th and 5th is absolutely impressive. But there is the final classifications for it. Of course, Scuderia Seb taking the win, penalty free. Maurice in second, Rick in third, Hardy and Ryan in 4th and 5th. Another XL member of Zardama in 6th, Spag in 7th, with Lando Norris in 8th, Packer in 9th, Nuno Aloisi in 10th. Nico and Dylan, the races that were probably from hell for the both of them, they did end up finishing in the points in the end. Maledictus, however, just missing out on points with Slash in 14th and Gary in 15th with that collision with Skyzy. Nothing that they could do. They just got caught up in that. Unfortunately for Skyzy, he DNF'd with Rudy, Bullet Boy and Puppet Master right at the beginning of the race. But who do you think your driver of the day is for that one then, Verstappen?
Very difficult call, but I think I'm just gonna have to give that one to Scuderia Sep. He's driven amazingly, had amazing pace on those mediums after the last safety car, and he's managed to pull through, get the move on Maurice done, and he managed to pull a little bit of a gap. And yeah, fair play to him. Maurice is a fair second place, and Hardy, of course, driven as well from 16th up to 4th. Of course, a bit helped by that safety car, but yeah, those are my three contenders for myself.
I would definitely say you are right. I think Scuderia Seb is probably, for me, is going to be that driver of the day. I mean, he absolutely started from 4th in the grid, managed to work his way up straight into the win of the race as well. Penalty free, kept it clean as much as he could. Maurice, it was a good drive from him, but it's just unfortunate for him. Of course, the other two XL boys, starting 16th and 17th, done as much as they could. Done a very good strategy, and it paid off for him. Of course, I think Hardy would have wanted to be on that podium, but 4th and 5th, I'm sure they won't be too disappointed with that anyway. But have you got any final words for the stream before we end it for tonight, Verstappen?
Of course, once again, well done to just the whole division, to mostly clean racing. Of course, a few incidents, but that always happens in such a tight grid. So yeah, it's a really enjoyable race, and yeah, a fair play to the podium finishers there.
Yeah, certainly was. Obviously, congratulations once again to Verstappen. Sorry, Verstappen, you're with me, so congratulations to you as well. But congrats to Seb, Maurice and Rick for taking those podium positions. Thank you to everybody that had tuned in for tonight. Of course, I don't think I will be here next weekend. Dan will be back next week, hopefully, for him. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week